In 2026, humanity returned to the moon, but something happened there. Something no one can fully explain. A signal was detected, not from Earth, and then silence. What did they really find on the moon? For decades, the moon had remained silent. Since the last missions of the 20th century, no human had walked on its surface for more than 50 years. It was just a distant, lifeless world, or at least that's what we believed. But in 2026, everything changed. A new mission was launched with advanced technology, new objectives, and one clear goal: to explore the moon like never before. It was supposed to be routine, a simple sequence: landing, exploration, data collection, and safe return. But even before the launch, there were rumors. Some scientists believed the moon was not as quiet as it seemed. There had been strange readings in the past, unexplained anomalies, and signals that didn't quite make sense. Most people ignored them, dismissing them as errors or interference, until the mission began. Shortly after landing, something unusual happened. The crew detected a signal. At first, it was weak, barely noticeable, a faint, repeating frequency that didn't match any known system from Earth. The astronauts assumed it was interference, a technical glitch, maybe a reflection from their own equipment. But then, it changed. The signal became clearer, more structured. It started to repeat in patterns that didn't seem random anymore. It was as if something was trying to send a message. Something not human. The crew reported the signal back to Mission Control. Engineers on Earth began analyzing the data, trying to find a logical explanation. But as they studied it, something else started to go wrong. Communication delays increased. The connection became unstable. Messages from the moon started breaking apart. And then, something even stranger happened. The astronauts stopped talking about the signal. Completely. It was as if it never existed. During one of the scheduled surface walks, the crew continued their mission as planned. Cameras were recording everything, every step, every movement across the gray, silent landscape. And that's when it appeared. A shadow. At first, it was barely noticeable, just a shape moving in the distance. But it didn't behave like a shadow should. It didn't match the position of the sun. It didn't align with any known object nearby. For a brief moment, it appeared behind one of the astronauts, and then it was gone. No explanation was given. Hours later, the situation escalated. Communication began to fail completely. Static filled the transmissions. Voices became distorted. Words were lost between bursts of silence. Mission Control tried to re-establish contact, but the signal kept breaking. And then came the final message. Short, fragmented, incomplete. We are not. And then, nothing. Silence. Official reports later claimed it was a technical failure, equipment malfunction, loss of signal. These things happen in space, they said. It was unfortunate, but not unusual. But many people didn't believe it, because the signal was real. The shadow was real. And something on the moon responded. So what really happened out there? Did humanity simply return to the moon, or did we encounter something that had been waiting for us all along? And if it was there before, why did it choose 2026 to reveal itself? Maybe the moon isn't just a dead world. Maybe it never was, and maybe we were never alone out there. This is just the beginning. Subscribe to Beyond Earth if you want to explore the mysteries that lie beyond our world. Because space is not as empty as we think. But the story doesn't end there. Days after the mission went silent, something unexpected happened back on Earth. The data from the moon didn't stop coming. Even without communication, fragments of transmission were still being received, weak, distorted, incomplete, but clearly not random. Engineers tried to decode the signal. At first, it looked like noise, but hidden inside, there was structure, patterns, repetition, almost like coordinates. The numbers didn't match any known location on Earth. They didn't point to any satellite, any spacecraft, or any known object in orbit. But when scientists mapped them, they pointed back to the moon. Not just anywhere, but to a specific region, a place that had never been explored before. And that's when things became even more disturbing, because that exact location was not part of the mission plan. The astronauts were never supposed to go there, and yet, according to the last bits of data, they did. Silently, without reporting it, without permission. It was as if something had led them there, or called them. As researchers continued analyzing the transmissions, they noticed something else. The signal was evolving. At first it was just numbers, then patterns, but now it began to resemble something more complex, something closer to language. Not human language, not anything known, but structured enough to suggest intention, purpose, meaning. And then, one final discovery changed everything. Deep within the last transmission, buried under layers of static and distortion, there was a fragment of audio. Very short, barely audible, but after cleaning and enhancing the sound, one thing became clear. It wasn't just noise, it was a voice. Distorted, broken, almost unrecognizable. But it sounded human. And it said only one thing: don't come back. After that, all transmissions stopped. Completely. No more signals, no more data, nothing. Officially, the mission was classified, all information restricted, all recordings sealed, all questions left unanswered. But rumors began to spread. Some believe the astronauts discovered something beneath the moon's surface, something ancient, something that had been there long before humanity ever looked up at the sky. Others think the signal wasn't a warning, but a response, that when we returned to the moon, something noticed us. And now, the biggest question remains. If the message was real, if the warning was real, then who sent it? And more importantly, who or what is still there? Because one thing is certain. We went back to the moon in 2026, but we may not have come back alone. And if another mission is launched, it won't just be a journey into space, it will be a journey into the unknown. And maybe, next time, there will be no message, no warning, only silence.